Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Struther.
I'm Sean Spencer.
But let's go to a segment that you brought up a year ago, like it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, where we talk about some of the things that some of the stories that maybe we like, maybe we don't. We kind of give our 2 cents on them. Janae, one of the biggest stories that's been coming out, all of these guys have been really, truly affected, so much so that the number one guys at this position have been really are not paid. They're trying to find money. Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Running backs are being devalued in the league. Janae, do you like it or not?
Don't like it. The fact of the matter is everybody knows that you need a running back, and they use their bodies very, 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 very crucially in this game. Right. Running backs have to not only block, they not only have to get through the line, they have to do so much with their bodies to where it's not a really longevity game being a running back. We see it with Zeke. We saw it with Le'Veon Bell. These are the things that happen. It doesn't last that long. So who are we to say that somebody should not make their paper when they should be making their paper? You got to pay it. You want me to give you 100% great job. You want me to give you that? You got to make sure that you're giving me my payment, what I'm worth, what I'm thinking I'm worth, what I'm doing for the team. Like, when we're getting into a situation where we're doubting paying Derrick Henry, we're doubting paying Jonathan Taylor, Taylor. It doesn't make any. It doesn't make any. It makes no sense. Why would you not want to pay somebody for doing a good job? You basically want to use them for pennies and then pawn them off. Now, I do know that running backs, you can find them, you can get them, but if you find a good, rare running back, you treat them the way they're supposed to be treated, and pay the people. They're playing just like everybody else.
Right. And I get it. I get it if we're talking about some of these mid-tier guys. Then yes, maybe they can't be a dime a dozen. You can get somebody that works in your scheme, and then you don't have to have a major one. But if we're talking Derrick Henry, if we're talking Jonathan Taylor, if we're talking Najee, if we're talking Austin Eckler, if we're talking some of these big name guys that are huge weapons in the backfield, Saquon Barkley, how are we having this conversation about potentially not paying a Saquon Barkley? This guy is one of the biggest threats in this ball game. So we have to show these guys love, man. And for me, I'm a former running back, so I hate this because the game was built off the running game. If you look at the Super Bowl this last year, the way that the Chiefs were able to win, the way that the Eagles were able to stay in this, it wasn't by the pass. It was that running game. Pacheco, McKinnon, you know what I mean?
San Francisco, everything.
Exactly. I just don't understand this because if we're talking about running backs being devalued, but if your quarterback is mobile, we love him. If Deebo Samuel, Curtis Samuel, some of these guys play wide receiver that run in the backfield and take handoffs as pseudo running backs. Cordero Patterson made a whole career of being a kick returner, wide receiver, and then also playing running back. You need a running back, and you need to have them. I understand 100%. The injury issues and running them. You got to play it smarter, but you need a running back. So this whole thing about them being devalued it pisses me off, Janae.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I think you want me to sit there, watch the person next to me get a fat check. You want the old lineman to get a fat check, the defensive person to get a fat check. But I'm sitting here running these touchdowns, brutally beating my body up to get you a first down, to get you a touchdown, and I'm not the same value as that. I'm not even valued at that level. Then it kind of sucks, man. I think this sucks.
Yeah, I got a serious problem with it. Johnny saying the owner's excuse is that running backs have the shortest timeline on the field, and they have the most injured and most likely to be out more games.
Yeah, but Johnny, even if they were trying to say that, look around the league now. These running backs been playing every game, putting it in, and even when they're out, they're only out for a little bit of time, just like anybody else. A pulled hamstring, everybody gets hurt at one point. Right. You can structure the contract to where, per injury, if this happens, then we got to adjust something. But pay the people what they're worth. It should not be okay, we're not going to pay you. We'll discuss it next year and see what happens. No, if especially in Taylor's situation, you got a quarterback that's brand new. You're not paying him a whole rack of money.
Mm-hmm.
There could be money going to me. You're going to need me. You're going to need
Right.
me to do what I
Right.
need to do. What's the
Exactly.
problem with cutting me a check and you not paying? You don't have to pay a top tier quarterback yet. You don't have
Yeah.
to pay him big money yet. Pay me.
Yeah. And look at any one of your stud teams, any one of the teams that are going far. Now we can make the argument that the Chiefs don't really have one of these solidified number one running backs, but in their system they can work it. You look at a Pittsburgh with
Yep.
Najee Harris. You look at San Francisco and how they took off after getting a CMC. Daniel Jones got paid because of the fact of him running that read option and being able to play off of Saquon Barkley. You need that running game. All of these quarterbacks that have the success, Joe Burrow, he has Mixon. You know what I mean? Like you look at Buffalo. Buffalo has their quarterback is their main. Josh Allen is their main runner, and they always struggle in the clutch because eventually they just stack up on Josh, and nobody else can take it. You need to have a guy in the backfield. And I understand maybe he's not going to get 40 carries a game. Maybe you need a two-headed monster, whatever, but you still need a guy. And in my opinion, I would rather have a legitimate running back and maybe a younger quarterback than the other way around. Quarterback is going to garner more money, and we all know, but if you are a quarterback and don't have a good running game, you're going to struggle.
Look,
Yeah.
my prime example. How hard do you think I'm gonna work at my job when I know I'm getting pennies compared to what they're
Right.
getting? How
Right.
hard do you think that I'm gonna work next to my coworkers and I'm not valued the same way they value?
Oh,
So
yeah.
don't you think that it should be worth a nice little pretty check for a running back to receive to be able to
Oh, yeah.
feel like, okay, I'm gonna go out there and get my all because this team just invested whatever amount of money in me. But please believe that these running backs are gonna start thinking like this, and you're gonna get what you get. And we'll
Right.
see how it happens.
Oh, yeah. It says Earth says the algorithm, not mine. Yeah, I get it, Johnny. I get it. I get it.
I understand. I understand.
And we can go back and
It's been
forth on
happening
this.
for a while.
Right, exactly. They've been moving away from the running back position for a long time, trying to get more air attack, more about that passing game. So this is not a surprise, but it's a shame though. It's definitely a shame. But Janae, let's move on, Janae, because
Yep, that's true.
hey, it's Aaron Rodgers. He moved over, and Tom Brady. He's no longer married or on a football team. Let's talk about some of these new guys, the CJ Strouds, the Bryce Young, the Anthony Richardsons of the league. We've seen what the Brock Purdy's were able to do last year with the silent team. What could some of these rookie quarterbacks do this year? I mean, do you like it? Like these rookie quarterbacks starting or not?
Hey, I like it. I think we've been talking about it for years, Sean. It's time for the vets to hang it up. We already see Tom Brady has now decided he was going to hang it up. Aaron Rodgers will eventually get to that day. It'll be a time where we will look at the NFL and see new. And it's that time. And I think it's going to be pretty damn interesting. I think it's going to be pretty interesting how it's going to happen. But and some of these quarterbacks really shocked me in the preseason. Yeah. So I think it should be very interesting. But I'm excited, Sean. This is what happens. A new era, a new time in the world. I think that it's great that we're seeing new faces.
Yes. And like you said, it's about time. No disrespect to the great ones. No disrespect to the guys we've been watching for the past 15 years or 20 if we're talking about Tom Brady. But I want to see new crops. I want to see a new bunch of guys that we can talk about that maybe they could take it on take the NFL to the new level, to the next level. We got guys like Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow playing 3 and 4 years, and Josh Allen now is kind of like they're the medium veterans now. They've been in the league for a couple years. Let's see what these new guys can do. Let's see if Bryce, Mini-Me can dominate. You know what I'm saying? CJ Stroud with the Houston Texans. Anthony Richardson. That's kind of what I'm interested in. I like this. I like this a lot. But can these guys have success today?
I think they can. The thing is, we gotta let it. These are running quarterbacks. Quarterbacks that are different. These are like new baby Herberts coming on the
Right.
field. Joe Burrows
Right.
and little Herberts coming
Yep.
on. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. Matter of fact, that's what I wanted to ask you. Who are you most excited about, and who do you think is gonna make the most noise in this upcoming season?
No, I am going to.
Rookie quarterback.
I'm going with.
Sarah's yelling in the background talking about Commanders. No, you're wrong.
Hey! Wait a minute. Yeah, hey, Sam only played one game last year, so technically this is his rookie season. So I think we got a rookie quarterback. Let's go, Sarah. You knew where I was going. Let's go.
No, Sarah, you didn't started him up. No. Okay, back to the topic at hand, Sean. Who do you think?
Yo, I got Bryce Young. I got the number one overall pick. Honestly, everywhere he's been, people have doubted him. They talked about his size. They talked about, oh man, is he running his full speed? What's he got? And he has stepped up to every challenge. Won the Heisman. That doesn't equate you being good in the league, but with Bryce Young and with them having a little bit of a defense, they have a new coach over there in Frank Reich. I really believe Bryce Young could have a really solid year, especially when I look at the other two. CJ Stroud, he's great, but he's on the Texans. And the Texans still need a lot more work, in my opinion. And then the same thing in Indy. If Jonathan Taylor is not playing, then Anthony Richardson's got to put it all on his back, and I'm worried about that. So I got Bryce Young, man. What do you think?
So what I'm thinking, Sean, it makes me a little nervous to say, but I'm really excited about Anthony Richardson. I think that the Colts have a really good chance to do something in their first year that hasn't been done in that organization in a while, but really take Anthony Richardson. And we saw him in the preseason. He's been lighting it up. Jared, my boy. Hey, but I think Anthony Richardson is going to show the world that he's supposed to be there. So I'm excited because I watched him in preseason, and I think that he is I think that he's ready. And so we will see. The Colts got pieces. I mean, the thing is, the Colts have always just been one thing away from at least getting in, to the playoffs the last couple of years. Let's see. I think he's got a chance to get him there.
Oh yeah, look, it's possible. We know he is a physical freak, man. This guy is an incredible athlete. He is. I mean, he's a big dude. We've seen what he did at Florida. I really want to see it. For me, it's to see if Jonathan Taylor stays. If Jonathan Taylor can stay in Indy, I think that's going to help him to kind of take a lot of the pressure off him. If he has all that pressure on him, I am worried to see. Ben said, I think the Texans are making Stroud the starter right away. Maybe a mistake. I would start Mills for a few games before inserting Stroud. So what do you think of this? So, because I talked to Ben about this. I kind of disagree. And the reason is you need something in Houston that's going to bring excitement. And I agree with the fact that you do need to, you don't want to throw him out there and get him killed right away. But I don't think Houston Texans fans are going to want to see the quarterback they had last year. They don't want to see Mills. They want to see their number one, their first overall draft pick. They want to see Stroud. And it might hurt his career, but as far as that organization, they're just hoping for anything. So what do you think? Do you think they should throw him out there? You think they should put him on the bench? What do you think?
I see it from both sides because we've always said that, but I'm leaning with you because the thing is, I don't like that holdout game. A lot of times, it sucked that look where we are now. Trey Lance had to sit behind Garoppolo for the whole first season, right? Yep. And they got him in the first round. Yep. They played Garoppolo the entire season. Yep. Now look at it now. He gets, injured in the second week of the next season that he gets to start. And then your chances, it's just too much. It's too much of a risk. Start your guy. You drafted him, play him. I just don't want to see CJ Stroud get the same situation of if you had to sit behind somebody, get out there, see what he can do, and you never know, he could be lights out. But I just, now that we're in that Trey Lance thing and looking at what he had to do, he was it just, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't think you should take any risk. Play your kid. Play him. If you think that he's worth it and you think that he can get the job done, I would play it. And like you said, the excitement. Houston's got a little bit of an excitement because they got a top, quarterback out of the draft. So I'm excited.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And they need something. You know what I mean? They still have the hangover of Bill O'Brien era, losing J.J. Watt, losing DeAndre Hopkins, and then we all know about that boy in Cleveland, Deshaun Watson, and all that mess he left with all that stuff. So they need something that's going to take their mind off of all of that stuff. This is their third coach in 3 years.
100%.
They need something. So we shall definitely see. But one more thing, and this kind of goes along with this as part of our like it or not, Janae. Next year's draft prospects. Now, I know you've heard it. They have already talked about the quarterback from USC, talk about Caleb Williams, my guy, Mr. Drake May. But I want to use the examples of Trey Lance. I want to use the examples of the Zach Wilsons, where these teams they're putting all this money and all this capital into getting these guys, and they talked about them that whole season. And I'm not gonna lie, when I saw these guys coming out of college, I watched college a lot. I didn't think these guys were that good. I really didn't.
Yeah.
So for me, when they got drafted so high, I'm like, why did these guys get drafted high? And it's the same thing people say about Anthony Richardson, where in college he was a great quarterback, but he really wasn't this amazing guy. And now all of a sudden he gets drafted so high. So do you like it or not when they start saying at the beginning of this year, talking about next year's draft picks?
Yeah. I just think it's so much of like you said, it's a hype to build up for whenever it does come.
Yep.
Let's start the buzz now. But honestly, we never know what's going to happen. In one season, it's so many things that can happen. This upcoming season for college football, I just feel like I just don't want everybody to get all excited about the number because we don't know. Like, the whole time they had, Justin Fields is great. And then all of a sudden, Justin Fields is so bad, and he's bad in the locker room, and he's this. It's just, the buildup is just they try to, give you a narrative to make you judge all season long for next year. I don't think that there should be no hype about next year yet. Let them prove what they can do this year, and then when they go into the draft, then we'll know if they're worth being there. But I just think it's too much hype too soon for NFL draft for next year.
Right. You got these guys up here, these college guys, getting talked to by scouts and all these, people that are in these, NFL, rooms and everything like that. They still got to focus on a full schedule. Some of them got to focus on going to school as well as playing these games and doing that type of stuff. And I get it. You always want to find the next best thing. How many times have we heard people talk about Patrick Mahomes, Baby Goat, and Joe Burrow is the next guy? Like, I get we want to find the next, but let's pump our brakes. Let's play a game first before we start crowning these guys. That's me. You know what I mean? All right. Sheldon said, I'm old school. Back in the day, players played for the love of the game and not for the love of the money. Don't get me wrong. They all need to get paid, but dang, play ball. God will take care of the rest. I like that. And then Ben, a rookie sitting behind someone isn't the worst thing in the world. I agree. Stroud, in my opinion, needs time to develop. It's far riskier to put him out there from day one. Can't always have cave fan pressure. Yep. Let's see.
It's true. No, he's got a very good valid point. It's a valid point. I just think when you're in a franchise, it's just, there's so much stuff going on. I think, sometimes the fan pressure is needed. Like you may need to have something to spark it up. As far as Trey Lance goes, he only played, I believe, 6 games in college. And looking at it now, the 49ers may have put too much stock. It's true. It's true.
Yes.
We're going to see. We never know what's going to happen. he may, he may need some, but he may very well go out there and show the world that he don't need no work, or he can do it while working in the game.
Exactly.
So we will see. It's going to be very interesting. I would love to see how it's going to fan out, but for next year's draft prospects, I just think that we got to wait on it. We got to see what they're going to do.
Yeah. So I'm with you. I don't like it. I think we gotta pump our brakes on that. All right.
All right. I am Janae Struther.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.